right, guys, we're back in the movie theater lobby, and we're going to do a segment we'd like to call What You Did Say?
What You Did Say?
It's going to be a podcast where we just talk about our opinion. And the movie today we are talking about is...
The Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
A Minecraft movie. Brandon, where did What You Did Say come from?
So, you just heard a voice just a moment ago announce the movie title. That was our son, Connell. When Connell was but a wee toddler, just learning to speak.
A wee laddie.
When you would say something to him and he wouldn't quite understand what you said, he would get right up in your face and kind of grab you at the sides of your head and say, "What you did say?"
What you did say?
What you did say?
That voice you just heard is our other son, Aiden.
Hello. Aiden, do you want to tell us what the movie's about? A Minecraft movie?
Yeah, sure. So the Minecraft movie is about this kid and his friends who decided to move to another segment of the country. And there's a mine, and there's this other person named Steve. He yearned for the mines as a child. He went there, but the miner who was there, he hated children, so he chased him off. And then when Steve turned into an adult, he decided to go back to the mine so he could, mine. And while he was mining, broke open a hole, found this glass and orb itself. He put them together, it opened a portal, he went to the portal, boom, Minecraft world. And
made some friends. Discovered some enemies. Who's the main enemy in this film?
Do you know, Connell?
The main villain was named Malgosia.
Malgosia, played by Rachel House. Pretty good bad guy in that film, I thought.
Yeah, Malgosia was a fun bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Steve, he found a wolf. He also found a bone laying conveniently next to his wolf. He gave the bone to the wolf, whose name is now Dennis.
Oh, Dennis, that's right.
Yes.
I forgot.
Dennis and Steve discovered the Nether, found the fortress, which had Malgosia and her minions in it.
Her piglins, right?
Malgosia was like, "Where's the orb?"
She wanted the power.
She wanted the power to take over the overworld.
That's right.
That's what almost happens later in the movie. Anyway, Steve gets caught, and then Malgosia threatens to slaughter Steve's pet.
So he sends Dennis to the real world, right? To hide the orb.
Yes, he sends Dennis to hide the orb. However, he doesn't really manage to do that successfully, so it kind of plops out, and the orb and the glass fall
separate?
off. Yeah, they separate. So Henry and his family, I should say.
His sister and a couple friends from town, right?
Yeah. After they moved in, Henry went to the garbage man's shop.
He was in the garbage man shop, yeah.
He saw those things, he took it, he put them together, he followed the orb, he saw that there was a portal. His friends, his sister, both dove in after him because, they were hanging on to him, so...
They all went in. I think that's a pretty good summary.
We don't want to give too much.
Yeah, we don't want to give away the whole movie, right? So let's leave it there, and let's chat a bit about the whole Minecraft world. In the Minecraft movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So visually, as soon as you see the Minecraft world, you'll notice it's not as blocky as the original Minecraft. However, it is pretty realistic.
It does look a lot like the Minecraft game.
Yeah, I think they pulled it off, personally.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, Connell?
I'd say that the real Minecraft world had kind of like a square shaped or blocky shape. If you've ever played the real game before, like a bee isn't just really, really small. It's a giant bee, probably as big as Steve's hand.
Steve's the only one who's not a block figure. I mean, in terms of the original characters, correct?
Yeah, in the game, Steve was all blocky, just like the rest of Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
But in this movie, he's a normal human-looking guy.
Funny thing about the people from the real world going into the Minecraft world is everywhere they go, they're called roundlings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty comical to see.
That is pretty funny, right? Because they talk about this orb that's a cube.
Yeah, it's a cube.
But they call it an orb.
Yeah.
But an orb is supposed to be round.
And then Steve's just like, "What? This is a cube.
Yeah.
It's not an orb."
How ridiculous.
And Malgosia's just like, "Oh, whatever. It's an orb."
Yeah.
It's an orb.
Power anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you feel like the visuals stayed pretty true to the game, right? But a little more realistic, which I'm sure they probably did just for a bit of flavor, right? To make it more visually appealing. But how do you think they did with staying true to the game in other ways?
I like how as soon as an enemy died, they just turn into whatever their object
like whatever
was.
their items drop, right?
Yeah, whatever they
like
dropped.
The steak,
Yeah.
Or the...
Like when Malgosia stabbed one of those piglins and then turned into a steak on her thing.
Yeah, and what about when taming a wolf? Is that similar to how you do it in the game?
Yeah,
I think the particles, like the little heart particles around.
Yeah, they poof. After you feed the wolf the bone, a collar pops onto their neck, and it doesn't. And in the real Minecraft, it doesn't display a name. However, it does have a little gold gold 2 pixels in the front.
And you can give your dog a name, can't you?
Yeah, you can write a name in there.
So they seem to keep things pretty true to the game, right?
Yes.
And what about crafting stuff?
Oh.
Like with the crafting table?
I don't feel like it's as realistic as the real game. Well, Steve made something. It was very realistic. Like they put some blocks in a specific place. I feel like he made a sword, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it isn't like the original game because, you have to use a hammer to, like, smash, and then all of a sudden you get whatever the frick you decided to make.
Sure, whatever the recipe was, right?
Yeah, whatever the recipe was. And here's the thing, the garbage man, he made something that's not actually inside of Minecraft. Same for Henry. Henry made a tot launcher.
He
Garbage
did.
man made bucket nunchucks.
Yeah, what do you call them? Chuck buckets?
I
Or
think
buck
so.
chuckets?
I think so.
That
Yeah, that was a pretty funny part of the movie.
was.
What do you think was the funniest part of the movie?
When Dennis fetched the frisbee to Steve, and Steve
And Steve
jumped to get it and caught it with his hand.
caught it with his mouth
I
like
mean,
a
yeah,
dog
caught it.
would.
Yeah.
You thought
I
that was
mean-
pretty funny?
In my opinion, it was the part where Dennis accidentally dislocated the orbs. Like, like when he cut off connection to the real
Yeah,
world
when
from
it closed
Minecraft.
the portal, right?
Yeah, and Steve was just like, oh, come on, Dennis, could you at least have slid it a little bit more under the bed? Dang it.
Right.
Also,
Something like that.
I think part of the movie that was really funny was right at the end when Malgosia told Steve,
Oh,
come here, come here.
Oh,
come here,
I
I
need
tell
to
you
tell you
something.
something.
Come closer.
When Steve came close, Malgosia was like, "Arr," and almost hit him with a sword, but Steve deflected it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
said, what do you think that was going to do? Or something like that.
Yeah, and then
And she says it again. Come, for real now, this time. Come closer.
and then she's just like, sneak attack, before just flopping her face on the floor.
She tried it so many times.
When we went to the theater, there was a scene with was it Chicken Jockey?
Chicken Jockey.
So, as an adult who doesn't play Minecraft, I didn't get it, but it seemed to be a very important line.
Well, I
Why?
mean,
What's so important about that line?
we have no clue personally, but we're gonna have to do some research online. It's basically just a chicken jockey. It's a zombie on a chicken.
I feel like the reason why it was so popular is just because all the action in that moment. There's so much suspense and so much thrill when the zombie came down, and when Steve said it, it just made it all the more exciting. And
And everybody in the theater said it at the same time. Chicken Jockey.
It became kind of like a viral sensation.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, and here's
people
the
started-
thing about it. So whenever the chicken jockey scene would come on, people would yell chicken jockey and throw popcorn in the air.
Mhm.
But that didn't happen in our movie.
No, but
No,
they
it
did say it
didn't.
out loud.
They did say it out loud.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it got so severe that people had to go to jail because of it.
People got escorted out. People were causing real trouble, right? It became a big
Wow,
to-do.
some drama around this
Yeah.
movie.
But I think the way it happened in our theater was pretty fun. Nobody got crazy. Nobody was throwing stuff.
Yeah.
But there was a fun little crowd chant of Chicken Jockey! Right? That was
Yeah.
kind of fun.
And
I thought that
everybody
was cool.
clapped.
Because there are other movies that adults have been going to for a long time. One in particular I can mention called the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Mhm.
where it's a lot of audience participation.
Always. Yeah.
A lot of chanting back and forth with the movie. And kids don't really get that in their movies. But this one time,
This
kids
one I
had
think
their
is
moment.
forever going to be immortalized, and I think it'll always be something that when that part comes up, little kids will Chicken Jockey.
As long as the kids didn't get out of control, I think it was a great addition. But a lot of adults disagree with me.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Most of the people who threw popcorn were teenagers and older.
So it's the irresponsible teens, you're saying. The
Apparently.
troublemaking teensters.
Apparently.
I actually saw this pretty recently, where there's this one person who took a real chicken to the theater and was in a creeper costume. On the Chicken Jockey part, everybody was yelling. There's popcorn being thrown around.
Oh boy.
And then this guy was holding up the chicken in the
Poor
air.
chicken.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Chicken was
chicken is
probably
probably-
losing its mind.
Where the hell am I?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like, what the hell is
Yeah.
going on? Why is delectable food getting thrown into the air everywhere?
Right?
You gonna eat that?
Yeah, let me take care of all this popcorn now.
I feel bad for the janitors who have to clean it
Oh
up
boy,
after.
me too.
Mm.
That's a good consideration.
Yeah.
Most kids probably wouldn't think about the poor people who work there having to clean it up, huh?
Yeah, because every time people throw popcorn in, the employees are just like,
Somebody has to clean that mess up.
I feel like the janitors who had to go into the Minecraft movie theater had to be paid extra.
They should have been probably, right?
Yeah.
So, who was your guys' favorite characters?
So my favorite character is Steve.
Steve.
Probably because of his funny voice lines and, funny ways of acting.
I'm
so.
Steve.
I am Steve, Chicken Jockey.
Right?
This is a crafting table. Coming in hot. Release.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of really cool one-liners, huh?
Yeah.
Connell, what about you?
I like General Chungus. He was a really funny character in some parts.
Yeah,
he was
actually,
pretty funny.
General Chungus was probably my second favorite character
Okay.
of the movie.
All right.
When the big one or whatever his name was, when he came out, I thought he was going to have a squeaky, high voice.
All right. So there's a lot of items in Minecraft, right? So many items in Minecraft. Things that you can create or find. What was one of the favorite things you saw in Minecraft that you were like, oh, I'm so happy they showed that because I love that in the game?
I have actually 3 of them.
3 of them. Okay. Run them down real fast.
Okay, so the first one was the water bucket.
Okay. Yeah. Water buckets are pretty common.
on the release scene.
Mhm.
And then the second was the ender pearl.
Oh, the ender pearl, right? Those are pretty cool, huh? Hard to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
You throw it and it teleports you, and the garbage man throws it.
Yeah. And he only goes 10 feet away.
Yeah, and then Steve is just like, I almost died fighting an Enderman for it.
That's right. That was his only one.
And then the last one, I think, is flint and steel because it was really realistic to the actual game.
Yeah.
The portal lit up exactly when they put the flint and steel
Mhm.
and combined it with the obsidian.
That's right.
All
Flint and
right.
steel.
My favorite item in the Minecraft movie,
Uh-huh.
it probably had to have been the slime block for some reason.
Oh, the slime block. That was a fun one, wasn't it? He kind of
Yeah.
bounced off of it when he was jumping off that bridge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty good use.
Man, you want to know what I think is crazy about a slime block?
What's that?
It's super bouncy and somehow it doesn't break any part of your body when you jab into it.
You're right. Somehow it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's a weird substance.
you'd think that somehow the surface tension would,
You'd think so.
but
Must
really,
be some sort of weird, extra, special, non-Newtonian fluid of some sort, right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
it was kind of like it's hard, obviously,
Mhm.
but when you jump on it, it's bouncy.
Yeah. Super bouncy.
Wing.
Way bouncy. So we're going to say spoilers on this movie, right? So anybody who's afraid of spoilers, probably go see this movie because, why should we hold back? So at the end, Steve, initially, he's like, no, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to stay here and create. If you guys were in a Minecraft world, like you got teleported there from the real world, would you stay there or would you come back home?
I would stay there for a little bit, but it depends on if I have the orb with me or not. Because otherwise, if I don't have the orb with me, I'm staying home.
Okay. So you wouldn't want to be stuck there forever.
I would not want to be stuck there forever because
Okay.
I feel like I would probably die.
It's very possible. Zombies and creepers and piglins.
Yeah. But otherwise, if I had the orb with me, then I would be perfectly fine.
Okay. Go back and forth is what you're saying.
Yeah.
How about you, Connell?
Honestly, it kind of depends in some ways. I like to be with Steve while I'm staying, even if I wasn't with Steve. If I was in Steve's hands or I had everything that Steve had, then I think I could stay for, I don't know, I think I could stay for a while longer, but I would never consider staying there forever.
So you'd want to be there with an experienced guide is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Now,
So
I
I
also
could
have a
experience-
question.
Okay. Yeah.
How long do you guys think you would be able to survive in the nether?
Ooh.
Not very long.
No hesitation from mom.
Yeah. I think that would be a pretty scary place.
Yeah, because, it would be hot. There's
It would be
lava
hot.
everywhere.
Absolutely. And there's not many resources there.
Yeah, there's not many.
So You gotta.
You'd be eating a lot of pig.
You would. You sure would.
And here's the thing: if you were to attack one piglin, they would all start coming after you. So you have to have really good survivability skills.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to know how to swing a sword really well, or use a bow and arrow. You'd probably have to have some good armor.
I mean, me personally, I feel like I could survive a few hours.
A few hours?
Yeah, because there's also brutes. They just attack for no reason.
Ooh.
They're a more rude version of piglins.
And aren't there a bunch of ghasts in the Nether too?
Yeah. So you've got to make sure you run really fast.
Yeah. And ghasts are those kind of big floaty things.
Yeah, they're like ghosts, I should say, except they're not ghosts because, they're physical. You can touch them. You can feel them. They're visible.
So is diamond armor the best kind of armor?
Not in my opinion, but for some reason, everyone says diamond armor is the best.
What do you think is the best armor?
Netherite armor.
Netherite armor?
Yes, because netherite armor is only found in the nether. Plus, it's more rare than diamond armor.
So they didn't feature the right armor when they showed all the diamond armor.
Well, I mean, they could show it if they want to. I feel like netherite has high resistance because if you were to get swung at and hit, you would just stay in the same place. You wouldn't get knocked back or anything.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So more sturdy.
Yes, they're more sturdy.
It was the best armor until the netherite armor got introduced.
Yeah.
Because
How long ago did that get introduced?
probably like a year or two.
No,
Probably 2022-ish.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
maybe
long ago.
So it's a newer edition. Is it a new addition to the game, or is it a mod item in the game?
It's a new edition.
Okay, all right.
Diamond armor would also be like a high target because I know like there's a lot of mobs that would kill you. If for any reason the mobs actually had a brain, I know they do have brains, but like if they're actually smart, they think of you as a bigger target for your armor because it's, especially in the movie, it's so flashy and you could see it really well.
Right.
Yeah, because
it could be a big target.
Stick out a little bit.
Yeah, and netherite armor is the complete opposite. It's hard to see during the night, and it's really, really protective.
Yeah.
It's like comparing, the Three Little Pigs?
Yeah.
It's like the first house, which is straw, is like leather armor, and then a house made out of wood is
like silver, silver armor?
Silver or diamond armor, and then the house made out of bricks is the netherite armor.
Yeah.
So that's basically how it compares.
Good analogy. Yeah, we're getting a lot of info here that I never knew.
That's why we brought them here to talk about the movie, because they have insight.
Yeah, they sure do. Much more than we have.
Yes.
I've messed around with Minecraft, but I've never dabbled in it too deeply. But Aiden, you were telling me a little about a pig with a crown. How about you guys each tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, so during the villager part of the movie, right next to the Steve's Lava Chicken scene,
All right.
a pig walks across the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry points out, why does that pig have a crown on it? Steve's just like, oh, that pig? That's a legend.
So what does that mean?
So there's this really popular Minecraft YouTuber. His name was Technoblade. He died of cancer.
Yeah.
Even in the game, you could see on the little screen, there's something that pops up, says Technoblade never dies. It was such an iconic YouTuber, and I think I remember this as being like a quote that he says. He said it every single time at the end of his videos.
Okay.
And in the last video, he said, Technoblade never dies, and then the next time, it was his dad talking about how he died, and
It's really sad.
Yeah, it's super sad. But it's a really nice tribute, I think.
It
Isn't
is.
it's a really nice and respectful thing for creators to put in.
It was a good cameo for...
It's a nice thing for the devs to do.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the Technoblade pig.
Okay.
He was actually introduced on the 2021 Minecraft picture, I think. If you were to look at the thumbnail for Minecraft right now, you would probably see Technoblade on there, except he's not in his clothes or whatever. He's just a pig with a crown on top, and it's the exact crown that was used for Technoblade.
The reason why he has a crown is because he has a skin on Minecraft, which is a pig in one of those royal dresses that the kings and queens used to use,
like a royal robe.
And on the top of his skin, he'd have a crown that. It's very iconic, gold and stuff like that.
So they not only is he immortalized in the game, but now he's immortalized in the movie too.
Yeah.
I got a question for all three of you guys.
Okay.
What did you guys think of the Lava Chicken song?
Steve's Lava Chicken.
Yeah, it's tasty as hell. Ooh, mamacita, now you're ringing the bell.
Start with you, Dad.
It's catchy.
It is very catchy.
It is.
I thought it was a fun tune.
Yeah.
I did read that it holds the record for the shortest song to ever reach the #1 slot on the
Leave it to Jack
top 40
Black.
charts. So I thought it was super catchy. I thought it was a fun little jingle. Jack Black's in the movie, so of course he's going to sing.
Of course he is.
It's
Yes.
gonna happen.
It wouldn't be a Jack Black movie
Right.
without a little singing.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know, lava chicken. Steve, lava chicken. Yeah, it's tasty as hell. Oh, mamacita, now you're ringing the bell. Crispy and juicy, it's a lava attack. Now you're having a snack. Ooh, super spicy, it's a lava attack. I think that's the full
It's a
song.
lava attack.
That's the
Yeah.
full thing.
That is pretty good. Well done. I didn't remember those lyrics at all. Great job.
Thank
Leah, what'd you think of Steve's
Well, it's my
Lava
favorite.
Chicken?
That whole scene is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie because I think it's really comedic.
Yeah.
And like I had already mentioned, it wouldn't be a Jack Black film without a song.
Steve goes to take a bite of the chicken and it's all super, super hot. So he doesn't take a full bite, but then Garbage Man steps up and he's like,
I could do
I
that.
can do that.
Yeah,
He
and he
takes
just,
a
like-
huge bite.
Then all of a sudden he's just like,
Yeah. He's chewing in that weird way when your mouth is on fire. You kind of chew with your mouth open a little bit, trying to exhale.
And there's steam coming out.
Also, I got one more question for you guys.
Okay.
What do you think about Jack Black being in the movie? And along with that, do you think there would be any other people who you think could have replaced Jack Black?
Oh.
in my opinion, I feel like there could have been one person who could have replaced Jack Black, but he probably would not have been as funny. So there's this popular guy on TikTok who has a square head and people call him, say he's from Minecraft. He's very popular, surprisingly. I feel like he could have replaced Steve because, you know, Jack Black, not very square.
It's very round.
He is very
Yes.
round.
So I feel like it would have been funny if they had that popular guy audition
Okay.
for Steve.
All
instead
right.
of-
What did you think of Jack Black doing it, though?
I mean, I thought he was pretty interesting. He was very comical throughout throughout the movie.
It's a shtick.
And I feel like he made everyone who watched the movie laugh at least
I-
once.
Guarantee.
I think a young Jim Carrey would have done a really good job on this.
Jim
mean-
Carrey could have been a good spot.
Obviously, we couldn't get a young Jim Carrey to
Right.
do this, but I think an old Jim Carrey would have not made sense. But I think a young Jim Carrey would have made sense, and it would have been pretty good.
And he's already hanging out in the Sonic movie. Why should he get two video game movies?
Because he's awesome,
right?
that's why.
He is pretty awesome.
He
I also think Jack Black did a great job.
did.
He
Yeah.
did wonderful. I remember when I first heard he was cast in this movie, not being a Minecraft guy, I was like, all right, well, that's a big deal. I heard a lot of like Minecraft fans were kind of upset, but I didn't see the reason to be mad about it. And it seems he did a pretty good job.
He did play Minecraft before he actually auditioned for the movie.
Oh,
So that way
okay.
he would know how it works.
Smart of him.
You guys got any more questions? If not, then I got one last question.
Go ahead.
Besides the Minecraft movie, do you think there could have been like a better game that they could have made an inspiration from based on all the cast? Do you think there could have been any other game or they could have taken inspiration from?
So instead of doing Minecraft movie, if they could pick only one other game, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Borderlands. Do that one over.
Borderlands. Just start over on Borderlands.
Let's start
that
one
let's,
over
let's
with
do
this
a
cast.
redo.
And I feel like there would be a whole lot of kids around the world saying, do Fortnite. Because, like, you know, Fortnite popular and all that stuff. Thing about Fortnite is that it only lasts one round and then it's over. So I feel like the movie would be shorter and it would not catch as much people to watch it.
Yeah, redo on the Borderlands would have been great. You know, maybe I could see them trying a Fortnite game.
Maybe.
Movie adaptation. All right. Well, I think we've covered that. So the last question I have for you boys. Overall, did you like the Minecraft movie
Oh.
and would you recommend it?
I loved the Minecraft movie personally,
Mm-hmm.
not for other people so much. I mean, I know there was a whole lot of hate on the Minecraft movie, and I don't get the hate.
You personally don't get it.
I don't get it because there's some kids at school. I'm not going to name names.
Right. We don't need names.
They said the Minecraft movie is doo-doo water.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Doo-doo water, those. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Like, they said something like that. So
Well, their opinions can go right in the trash because you like this movie. You said you would you maybe recommend it to some people, or would you recommend it to all people?
I would recommend it to gamers,
Okay.
especially like popular ones who play
Mhm.
lots of games.
Okay.
Would you recommend it to kids?
Definitely.
Definitely.
I feel like it would be a good movie to make children laugh because there's a lot of funny scenes throughout.
There
Yeah.
is.
I think the Minecraft movie was really cool and really intense during all the fight scenes. I feel like Jack Black made it even more intensive and stuff.
And funny.
Yeah.
Lots of humor in this film.
I'd recommend it to most people, especially, like Aaron said, gamers, possibly even streamers, because I bet they'd probably do a whole stream about it.
Okay, well, thank you boys for joining us here. Leia, I should ask you, did you enjoy the Minecraft movie?
I did. Not having been like a big Minecraft player.
Right.
I went into it just, I'm watching a kid's
Yeah.
film. And I thought it was a really well done kid's film. Lighthearted, funny, lots of color, lots of
Yeah.
action.
Yep.
Yeah.
A visual
spectacle.
spectacle.
It's not like a movie that if I didn't have kids, I'd have probably gone and seen.
Right.
But with kids, it's fun.
But it gives you a way to relate to your kids and have a fun day at the theater. Or if you're at home, watch it streaming or whatever the case is.
How about you?
I thought it was a fun movie. It wasn't made for me, so I'm not going to grade it harshly, but I can definitely understand the audiences it was made for.
Yep.
And I would recommend it to kids all over.
Gamer.
Gamers, parents who aren't going to go into it looking at it harshly and look at it just as a silly, goofy kids flick.
film. Yep.
Got one more question.
Oh.
Promise to do the
One
last
final
one.
question. Okay.
Parents,
Yes.
when you went to the Minecraft movie, did you understand all of it?
Not all of it. But because I am so interactive with you guys, I did understand a lot of it. There were
Yeah.
some things I did, like the Chicken Jockey thing. I had to ask you guys about that. And apparently you guys didn't know what that really was either. But there's a lot of things that I didn't pick up on. Like the pig with the crown. I wouldn't have picked up on that if you hadn't told me about it. Talking with you boys has made this movie a little more interesting for me.
I didn't know every reference that was there. I've spent more time in Minecraft than Mommy has,
Yes, yeah.
right? But I didn't know everything. So it was very enlightening
Yeah.
to have you guys here chatting with us.
Yes,
so I really
absolutely.
appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
you're welcome, guys.
You're welcome. And that concludes our first episode of What You Did Say?
What you did say. Thank you all.
Yep.
Thank you guys for watching again.